Hey guys, happy Sunday. All right, let's have this pop up so I can see comments and then we will get started. I feel like it's been a while since I've been on here. My apologies. It was the last week of school and yesterday was my kiddo's birthday. It was also the first time we have seen my parents since Thanksgiving, so that was very exciting. So we were busy. I had a full plate and unfortunately it did not involve crafting. All right, I am not seeing this come up on my Facebook. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, I see it now. I see someone has joined me, so thank you. And now I can see your comments. All right, we are going to work with hi Linda, with tidings and trimmings. I know it is July, and I know for many it is too early for Christmas. I don't know if it's ever too early for Christmas for a card maker. But when I posted a little question on my Instagram if it was too early, I had a lot of people tell me it was way too early. However, I recently was demoing for our team meeting, and this was the bundle that I was working with, the Tidings and Trimmings bundle. You can see I've got little scraps and bits of things I had already cut out. So I thought we would just recreate one of the cards that I had made for the team meeting, okay? So, hello Cindy. We are going to get started. So I'm just gonna move these things to the side. I have done a little bit of prep so that this is a little bit quicker, but not too much because I still wanted to show you guys everything that we're gonna do. So I will start just by, jumping in as opposed to showing you the card that I had already made. Hello Jill. You will have seen this if you were part of the team meeting. Okay, so we have a piece of soft succulent cardstock, 11 by 4 1/4, okay, and folded in half, so that's scored at 5 1/2. I have already embossed half of it because I just didn't want to have you guys be bored watching me emboss it twice. So you'll see me do the other half. So we are using the new Wintry 3D embossing folder. So these are just these mini folders that fit into the mini cut and emboss. So if you want to emboss an entire card front, you do have to do it twice. That's why I've already done half. So just showing you these two folders. So this one is really pretty. I haven't actually used this one yet because, it's July. But you can see it's got snowflakes and then just like some little swirlies. It's really very pretty. It'll be great for tags, holiday tags, or there's some really great new holiday stamp sets coming in the August to December mini. So I have chosen to use this one, which is these beautiful pine boughs. So you can see I've already embossed half the front. So I'm going to go ahead and emboss the other half. Now, it doesn't have to be lined up because I'm going to put DSP over top. So you are not going to see, you're not going to see this line where they match up. Or if I decide to overlap them, you're not going to see that either. You're going to see it on the inside a little bit, but you won't see it on the card front. So I'm not overly worried about that, but I will get it fairly close. It does have to at least match, even if it doesn't overlap, because you're going to see it on the edge. So, oh no, you won't. I take that back. The DSP goes all the way to the side. Okay, so I've got that lined up. It has to go into our emboss with the seam first so that the air is pressed out. Everybody knows that little trick. So I'm going to go ahead and run that through just off to the side. And then we will carry on. Okay, so there we go. So there is the card front embossed with these beautiful pine boughs, which I think is gorgeous. It's really quite pretty. And you can tell, you can't even really barely see at all. So you could use that as a card front without it being covered with DSP. Okay, let's put that away. Okay, now I am also working with most of the things that are in the suite. So the other thing in this suite is the Tidings of Christmas Designer Series paper. So you can see I've already used a whole bunch of it. Really cute 6x6. Our colors in here are the soft succulent, the evening evergreen, Sahara sand, and cherry cobbler. So some really great patterns in here. They're not all super Christmassy. The stripes aren't. The chevron isn't very more stripes. Even this to me reminds me of the Enjoy the Moment stamp set, these little pods. So I think you could do a really nice autumn themed card. Maybe I'll do that next. So this paper is great, and it is currently on sale, folks. It is on for that $13.39. It's also part of the paper share I'm running for the month of July. Okay, I'm gonna put that aside. So we have our card front. We have our piece of DSP. So I have already cut this piece of DSP. It is 3 inches wide by 5.5. So it is going to go across the front of the card. I also have a piece of vellum, which is 2.5, again, by 5.5. And the vellum is going to go over top. Now, I don't feel like the vellum is as essential with this pattern of the DSP. You'll see though with my original card, I really felt like I needed the vellum to kind of mute the DSP pattern that I used. So we are still using it on this one because I think it will actually just still look really nice with the additional things we are going to put on the front of this card. We're not going to put this on here yet, and the reason we're not going to do that is because we're going to stick a bunch of things on the vellum, and then that's going to let us know where we can put our adhesive on the vellum to stick it on the DSP, and then we'll put the whole thing down at once, okay? So we're going to put those 3 pieces aside for the moment. Now, I've already gotten some things ready for us, so I'm just going to bring them over, and we're going to run them through the Big Shot. So we are using, this is from the new scalloped contour dies, and we are going to do that die in Evening Evergreen. So I already have that prepped for us. This little guy is from the Stitch So Sweetly shapes. We're going to do that in our basic white. This, you can see I was already using it, is a scrap of the glimmer paper that is in the annual catalog. I think it's just called Ombre Specialty Glimmer Paper. And there are 4 sheets of paper in there. I can't find, oh, here it is. Oh no, that's the vellum. It's Poppy Parade, here it is, Night of Navy, I think Mango and Gorgeous Grape. And it is, yeah, the Ombre Specialty Paper. So I had a scrap of it that I used for another project. It has adhesive sheet on the back of it. So we are cutting out the little holly berries. So I have already cut out 3 of these, but we need 1 more. So we're doing that. And then we are also cutting out in Early Espresso this die, which is the branch the holly berries are going to be on. So I've already cut out 1 going in this direction. Now I want one going in the other direction. So when I made my original card, I put them through the die cut the same way, and I just flipped one over so it was on the reverse side, which looks fine. Another trick though is you could switch, I'm gonna switch the die over, and I'm gonna see if that eliminates it looking like it's on the back side. Well, you'll see what I mean when we do it, and we'll see if it works. So I've already got those all lined up on my thin plate, and I have got the cutting plate. I'm going to get the top cutting plate, and we'll bring the Big Shot over because otherwise it looks like I'm not doing anything. And we'll put that down. All right, and then I will carefully apply some pressure so none of this moves. Stick it in. All right. Roll this through. and see what we have. Okay, so we are still gonna have to just flip that over so that we have them in the two opposite directions. So we have two of those now. And we have another set, and you'll see I've got all the other ones we need over here of the berries. You're probably like, oh, good Lord. Yeah, it's a little time consuming what we're gonna do with these berries, I'm not gonna lie. Which is why I had planned to do half of it ahead of time. But I will show you some of it, and then what I will probably do is just show you the finished card that I had already made, rather than make you watch me do all these berries. Okay, put that aside. We've got this shape, and we have this one. Okay, I'm gonna put all these dies somewhere safe where I'm not going to lose them. And we're gonna take our scraps. Okay, move this guy out of the way. So we are going to stamp our greeting on here in Poppy Parade because we've used Poppy Parade for our berries, okay? And I am choosing to use the Wishing You a Joyful Christmas and a Happy New Year. As you know, I like to line it up on my grid to ensure it is fairly straight. Okay. We need our foam mat because it's a photopolymer. Try not to lose any of these. Okay, and we need it over to one side because of the way the card is going to go together. So, in case you're wondering, oh no, pardon me, it ends up pretty much centered on this. So we're going to center this top to bottom and left to right. Perfect. Close that up, put that aside. And we do need to stamp a couple of other things. So I have some basic white here. We need to stamp one of the stockings. So you can see that I've already used quite a few of these stamps. And we need to stamp the bow. So my trick, because we're going to die cut them, we want to make sure that they are lined up. So we're going to line them up to the case and then put them on our block. So there's the bow, and then we're going to line up the stocking, and we're going to put that on our stamp, our block, pardon me. We are going to do the stocking in Misty Moonlight. Now, if you're wondering why I'm choosing to use Misty Moonlight, it is because in the other card I did, I used the DSP pattern that actually had the Misty Moonlight in it. So this Misty Moonlight is one of the other colors in the DSP. So it's just a nice way to work it into your project. And then we are going to do the bow in Poppy Parade. There we go. I really love this bow. I was saying when I demonstrated the set in the team meeting that I think out of all the bow stamps that I have seen, hello Teresa, it's my favorite. To me, it looks the most like an actual real bow. So we are going to die cut these. The other thing we are going to do is I'm going to color the bow in. And I just used my Poppy Parade Stampin' Write marker. You could use a blend, like a Poppy Parade blends if you had that. But because I knew I wasn't doing any blending, I just grabbed my marker. Hello, Casey. And then after we color this in, we are also going to add some Wink of Stella. Now because we are not using a blend, we will see our marker lines a little bit more, so you just want to try to do as few brush strokes as possible. There we go. I won't do the Wink of Stella until after we die cut it. And I'm just going to trim this because that way we can use the mini. And then I can show you my trick for the mini. It's not my trick, somebody else showed me, but it's a fabulous one. So for any of you who use the mini, when you're cutting things out, you are meant to use the white plate and 2 of these. So sometimes I was finding it didn't always catch. I thought that was just me, but it turns out when I was part of some other team meeting, they said, no, it's not just you, and they suggested use the gray plate instead. I think it's this gray plate. So we're gonna find out. The gray plate is a bit thinner. You still need to stack your plates, stagger your plates, but then it catches almost instantly. So we want our stocking and we want our bow. So I'm gonna put them up here already so that we're not having to move them. I'm gonna turn them because of the way I'm sitting so I can line them up. All right, so stocking lined up. I don't really want to have to do this twice. Bow, perfect. All right, our other plate on top. Turning, not hitting the camera mount. And then it catches instantly. It might be the other gray plate though. I don't think this one is thick enough. So here I am showing you things, yes, okay. I knew we would figure it out, trial and error. Okay, the thicker of the 2 gray plates, but it is still easier than the white plate. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, people. Yes, it is still hot here. I am still dealing from that. Also, as I mentioned, if you're tuning in late, it was my son's birthday yesterday, and my parents were here since Thursday evening, and we haven't seen them since October. So that was lovely, but of course, you know, it's more people in your space, and sometimes you're tired after that. Okay, so that runs through tickety-boo. Now, it moved a little on the bow, which I thought it might because of the way I was holding it. I'm probably going to redo that, to be honest. Mainly because I know that I am giving this to someone, and I don't feel that that is my best work. It's not really fair to them. So let's stamp another one. So I think that is honestly the trick for the mini, because it's not magnetic. If you're going to be lining up things, you probably can only run one thing through it at a time. Otherwise, it might move. All right, let's see. Yes, Casey, it's a really great tip. I know. See, I thought I was the only one fighting, and then I was just like, am I doing something wrong? Like, what is going on? But it seems like lots of people were having that issue. All right. There we go. That is all the die cutting we are doing. So we'll put that away. We'll put this guy off. We'll color this guy now. All that coloring for nothing. Note to self, die cut first. Good thing it's little. why it's weird. I feel now when I do Facebook Lives, really bizarre talking to myself. And I mean, it's always been this way where no one was responding or saying anything back. But I think now that I have it set up and I can see that you're watching, it seems really weird when no one's talking. All right. And then we're, like I said, we're gonna do a little bit of Wink of Stella on there. Everybody loves the Wink of Stella, especially on Christmas cards. Okay. Watching intently. Love it. Okay, let's bring everything back into frame then, especially for those of you who have joined in. We've got our bits and pieces, and we're going to sort of start putting them together. So this greeting is going to be adhered just using your seal or your liquid glue centered on here, but to the right. So you can see I'm just leaving, like, I don't know what that is, a quarter of an inch on this side. Like that, okay? And because I'm going to have the stocking over here, all right? This whole thing is going to have some dimensionals on it. But first, we need to build up what is going to go in the stocking. So we have these guys, and then the other thing we are going to do is use the sprig. Now, we want 4 of these, but I want 4 halves. So you can do this one of 2 ways. So you can do like this, where I'm just cutting out half at a time on a thin scrap of paper. You just have to make sure you're doing both directions. Or you can just cut a whole one and then cut it in half. But because I was trying to use up scraps, I am doing it like this. So I am always trying to be mindful of my paper. And then we need one more. You just got to make sure you don't have any bits of paper stuck in there. It was very exciting here yesterday. My son plays lacrosse, and I have been able to watch a few of his games because I am the manager, and so I've been allowed to go inside, but most of the other parents have not. And yesterday was the first day that we all were allowed inside to watch. It was very exciting. Okay, so we are gonna create like a little bouquet out of our stocking. So I'm going to run some adhesive across the top of the cuff, the boot, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to, I'm just kind of looking at the other one I did. I want it to be similar. We're gonna stick some twig, a sprig of twig out the one bit here, and then we're going to have another bit sort of like that, and then we're gonna have some more in behind. But what we're gonna do first is we're gonna also have these guys, but this is where these little guys come in handy. So because I have done this with the adhesive backing on the glimmer paper, it really is actually very easy. So you take a pick tool and you use your tool to lift off the adhesive, and then you stick it to the guy, and then you just put it down everywhere. So then you actually have the true colors of branches and berries. So that's really what I wanted, because otherwise you can't do it, right? If you stamp this, or if you just cut it out. So what color are you gonna cut it out? You're either gonna cut it out in red, or you're gonna cut it out in brown, or you're gonna cut it out in gold, or something like that. You could totally do that, like something gold would be beautiful. But I just was thinking of my own little vase that I set up at Christmas that has, you know, twigs, artificial, obviously, with actual little red berries, and I love the look of it, and so this was the best way I could think of to do this. So it is easy enough to do. You can see how quickly I'm actually moving through this. The adhesive sheet is essential, and the adhesive sheets are actually essential for quite a few of the dies in this set, and I will show you which ones. So I'm going to do the bottom of each so that we can at least stick this in the stocking, and I can finish up the card, and then I can add the rest of these after instead of boring all of you while I do it. Because as much as I'm saying it's fairly quick, you don't really need to see me do like 18 of them or however many we have to do. And now that I'm saying it's quick, I can't get my finger on one. There we go. And there's still a little bit of give in the adhesive sheet, so if you put it down and it's not quite in the right spot, you can still move it a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to do 4 on each, and then I'm going to put them in, and we're going to carry on. And then I will finish them after. And I will show you the card that I already finished so that you will see what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to put those aside. I don't want to lose them. I'm going to bring this back. And we're going to have these kind of go like this. And so I'm going to do that. I want to make sure, I'm actually going to stick a bit more adhesive down here so that it picks them up. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to put 2 more sprigs in behind. You don't have to. I did. I just wanted, you know, as much color in here as possible. Okay, we're going to push all that down. I'm going to trim the very edge. I can see is kind of popping out from behind the stocking, and that's going to make me unhappy if you can see that. There, okay. And now we are going to put it on here. And I did use dimensionals for that. So I'm going to put a couple of mini dimensionals down this one edge. And we're going to put it on our card front, roughly like this. We're going to take our bow and we're going to put some adhesive on it. And we're going to stick the bow on here. And then we are going to put dimensionals along the whole thing. So I'm going to find my big dimensionals. So we want them on here. We don't need any there because it is higher than the rest, okay? And then we are going to center this on the vellum. Oh, I'm gonna move this dimensional because these have these little cutouts, right? So you don't wanna cover those. So we're going to kind of center it on an angle on the vellum, comme ça. And now that we have done that, we know where we can put adhesive. So everywhere the vellum is covered with cardstock, I am going to put some seal, and then that is the only bits of this that are going to be stuck down to our card front. But we can do as many as we want. And then, like I said, I will go in and finish up the red berries. I'm going to now center this on this strip of DSP. So we should have 1/4 of an inch top and bottom. And it should line up edge to edge. So like that. I'm going to apply pressure where I know I put adhesive so that the vellum sticks. Okay. And then we are going to bring our card front back in, and we are going to use some more seal or the liquid glue, whatever floats your boat, makes you happy. Let me get that corner. And we are going to center this on our card, top to bottom. And there you have it, folks. So the only thing I'm going to do is come in and add more of the berries. And I'm going to show you the card, the original card. So just let me get organized here. Let's bring back our nice background again. So here is the card we made. And here is the original card. So you can see in the original card, I used this darker piece of DSP, the Evening Evergreen. And that's why I felt like it really needed the vellum over top of it. And then here is the one that we made today. So thank you for taking time out of your Sunday to join me. Hopefully you like what we created. Maybe you like this bundle. So like I said, I've already created a whole PDF with this bundle. I've done 3 cards, gift tag, and also a Christmas ornament. So if this bundle is on your list, if you were to order this bundle, then actually if you were to order the entire suite, the bundle, the paper, maybe you don't want the ribbon. So anyone who would order the bundle and the paper, I will send you the PDF for the projects that I have already made. So yeah, that's it. That's all. Thank you. Go out and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks, guys.